Hi everyone. If you watched the behaviour of marketers, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the future of marketing is about the fear of missing out. But it's not. I'm going to tell you what it's about today. It's about people. As marketers, I believe our job is to be black sheep. But too often, we develop a herd mentality, much like these people.
The gentleman in the elevator now is a candid star. These folks who are entering, the man with a white shirt, the lady with a trench coat, and subsequently one other member of our staff, will face the rear. And you'll see how this man in the trench coat tries to maintain his individuality, but little by little,
That's Hanifa.
he looks at his watch, but he's really making an excuse for turning just a little bit more to the wall. Now we'll try it once again. Here's the candid subject. Here comes the candid camera staff, 3 of them at least. And this man has apparently been in groups before.
I feel sorry for the next guy, this guy.
Here's a fella with his hat on in the elevator. First he makes a full turn to the rear and Charlie closes the door. A moment later, we'll open the door, everybody's changed positions. See if we can use group pressure for some good. Now, in a moment, on Charlie's signal, everybody turns forward. Notice they take off their hats. And now, do you think we could reverse the procedure? Watch.
Right. So why do we as marketers need to be black sheep? I think Dave Trott explains this better than anyone in our sector, and I'd urge you all to buy his book titled 1 + 1 = 3. Now Dave explains that the software that our minds run on is essentially a pattern making machine. It's called Gestalt, and we program this software almost from birth. You see children chewing on things, touching stuff. We're basically grouping things in a really simple term: hot, cold, black, white, up, down, old people and young people like me. And this grouping that our minds do, this is where it gets really exciting for us as marketers. And I'm going to tell you this via a little story. So cast your mind back to the early days of the personal computer. You're the marketing team for the brand, and I'm your ad agency. And I've come in and said, our new ad, we should do something completely different. Look, this is our competition. They're all pretty similar. Let's be brave. Let's be bold. Let's do something different. And upon reflection, you sit down and you think, I might end up with egg on my face here. I'm scared of doing that. We could look utterly, utterly stupid. So Sam, I want to do something that looks like a personal computer ad. I want to fit in, okay? So we produce another shade of beige. Now what happens in your mind, consumers, when they see this, is they group things together. We're now 1 of 5. So quite simply, the share of mind that we've achieved through our campaign is 20%. Now let's reimagine that story. There's our competitors. I'm even more compelling, and I've come in and I've convinced you that we should be bold. And you may have had a couple of drinks at lunch and we go for it. And we plot a radical path. A path that's so radical that it doesn't just change the way that the advertising is perceived in this sector, it changes the product. It's that good. And we reshape the market. Now what happens here is really interesting, because we've got 4 similar competitors, and then you've got us. Okay? So now there are two groups created in the minds of the consumer, and just by doing that simple thing of being bold and being different, we now own 50% of the consumer's mind. And to put this a different way, just by being different, by owning a position that was different, we have in effect repositioned all of our competitors without them doing a single thing. And I see this in our business today. You're either a PC person or you're a Mac person. Now in marketing, and especially in digital, I think we're very skilled at creating new buzzwords or new trends. And it's my personal opinion that marketers are too quick to latch onto these. They seek to tick the tactical box, the topical thing, okay, and be part of the herd. And in today's money, in marketing, I think that thing is AI. And too many marketers are not asking the simple questions. They're too eager to be part of it, and they're not asking, what is it? How does it actually work? Explain to me like a child. And what incremental value is it bringing to my brand? So today, I'm going to help you with that. I'm going to help you understand what it is. I'm going to contextualize it for the purpose of marketing, and I'm going to tell you where marketing's really heading. AI is, in short, a term that's used to describe when a machine mimics the cognitive functions of the human mind. In marketing, what we've done is used it as really an umbrella term for a number of different things. So one of those could be automation. In our business, we may have up to around 150 different scripts to automate various parts of our AdWords campaigns. We're using machines to do things that are repeatable, that they can do quicker in a more predictable output type fashion. That frees up our team to be creative, to be human, to find an advantage for the brands we work with. Then you've got algorithms. In our business, we use algorithms to help us in areas such as audience segmentation, and we empower these algorithms with machine learning, sometimes talked about in our sector as predictive analytics. And at RocketMill, we've built algorithms that use machine learning essentially to model when people visit our clients' websites and segment them based upon their propensity to do business with the brands that we work with. And this in turn, these segments, they inform our media buying strategies. Now, AI and its growing influence in advertising, or the umbrella term and everything I've just discussed, is leading to both client side, our side, and within the media partners that we work with, a growing centralized core of advertising technology. But we must be clear and keep our heads above the water. This has limitations, okay? I've yet to meet a black box that can walk itself into a client's offices, understand everything about their brands, understand the operational nuances of that particular company, and most importantly, it definitely can't empathize with their customers. It still relies upon us. It's still human inputs that will define the advantage that we bring to a brand in marketing. And these human inputs are strategic thinking, their creativity, and we shouldn't silo creativity to just the adverts that we produce. Creativity should be in everything, data science, strategy, the whole lot. Then on the output side of things, we need skilled analysis to produce really meaningful and actionable insights that can be replumbed in at the front end of a campaign. So in today's world, it's this human augmentation, if you like, of that central ad tech core that's going to define whether you win or lose. And to put it crudely, AI is only as good as what you feed it. Okay, if you put crap in, you're going to get crap out. And this is something that Amazon recently found out to their own expense. Amazon spent 3 years designing a piece of AI and tweaking it that was filtering CVs and aiming to do that on mass scale and produce the very best candidates for a particular job. You'd think, wouldn't you, for a tech behemoth that's now exploring space, this is small fry. But it wasn't. They basically taught the algorithm based upon 10 years of their own recruitment data. and they are in the tech sector, which has historically been male dominant. So the AI went off and became biased against women. So what it did is it downgraded every CV that had the word women's in it. So if you were a member of a women's squash club, chess club, that type of thing, it also downgraded graduates from 2 female exclusive colleges. So in short, the AI didn't like women. And what the result was is a PR disaster for Amazon. They've disbanded the project and the team. So AI is not really going anywhere too fast in terms of not needing us just yet. It's going to need us for quite some time. And the good news is that the changes that we're seeing in marketing, and if we make best use of this, it actually allows us to be more human, to bring more of our suite of skills to campaigns. And we're in this, I think we're entering now a new phase in marketing, and this phase I think should be labelled people first. Now when I began my career working in national press, an advertiser would buy that piece of media, a page in our newspaper, and it would use it as a proxy to reach its audience. And it would advertise to that entire audience in the knowledge that many of them didn't fit the exact profile that they were looking for. So that was a media-first environment, media to access an audience. The world we're moving into and we are in today, we've flipped that entirely on its head. We put people first now, and we select those people in real time and then advertise to them across quite a rich variety of media. And how we got here and how it's shaping up now is quite an interesting story. It was roughly a decade ago that the credit crunch began, really kicked off with Lehman Brothers collapsing. Now that led to financial uncertainty in the markets and a fiscal tightening at the C-suite within the brands that were advertising at the time. That led to real scrutiny within the marketing function of all of these businesses. And what that meant for marketers, quite naturally, was that they had to justify every penny spent and prove a return upon that investment. And what happened simultaneously at that time is that digital media and digital marketing really came to the fore and it started to mature. And it was so successful because you could attribute absolutely everything and you could prove your return upon investment. So it's no surprise that money flooded into the businesses that were at the very vanguard of people-based marketing, the likes of Google and Facebook. But these are businesses that predominantly operate within the last 100 yards of the consumer journey. But things are changing now. We're seeing large-scale innovation across the market. Things like addressable television. We can access the entire inventory in full video on demand. Amazon getting the part of the Premier League football rights, we'll access that inventory. Sky AdSmart, we can access Spotify via Google Stack. The market's completely changed. Digital is no longer a channel, and that's fundamental. Digital is not search, social and display. Digital is now how we trade a rich variety of media. And this means we can buy people in real time, putting people first, and we can deliver a systematic experience to a consumer across the entire journey, not just the last 100 yards. And to round off, I want to illustrate that not much has ever changed. Our game, what we do, has always been about people. The first media ever created was cave paintings, people with small hands roughly 40,000 years ago. We became more dexterous and we started to communicate messages hidden within the likes of oil paintings and frescoes. Fast forward and we've got the event of print press, a huge step forward in media. A little while after that, the silver screen. Hot on its heels, we've got wireless or the radio. And then we had TV. That massive, massive step. Imagine that being around when TV arrived and what you could do with that for brands to communicate with an audience. Now we've got the internet and we've got mobile and they're hoovering up a ton of cash. But that's 40,000 years of media I've just run you through, And for me, two things stand out. Two things have never changed, really. Firstly, everything I mentioned as we went through chronologically that birth of new media, everything was meant to kill the stuff that went before it. TV was the end of radio, the internet was the end of everything, and now we're all just going to use mobile. All these channels are still there. They are still relevant. They're part of a rich tapestry that now allows you to orchestrate an experience for consumers. The other thing that's more important, that is a single truth, is that what sits at the middle of that, cave paintings, frescoes, print, radio, cinema, TV, the internet and mobile, is people, it's humans, it's basically your customers. Those channels are nothing other than a tactic for talking to people. And no matter how far you gaze into the future, the truth is your customer will always be human. So don't get bogged down with the tactical fads of today. Be black sheep for your brands and put people first. Thank you.